Hello everybody and welcome back to my garage 0 to Hero. Alright, so it is Monday morning, a brand new week, and yeah, we've been a little bit busy over the weekend, but also as you can see we've got quite a little bit of money. So yes, I can only say that the auction of the Chevy Chevelle as well as the Ford F250 pickup truck went very well. So it turns out the Chevelle was worth quite a lot of money because it had some very low mileage actually. I think it was under 8,000 kilometers or something like that. So yeah, it turns out that that car sold for almost, yeah, I think 600,000 was, I think the final bid price was 580,000. So yeah, we made quite a lot of money off of that car. And the pickup truck also sold for like 326,000. So yeah, we are definitely getting a little bit of money in our pocket now, but yeah, it's still not enough because yeah, as you guys can see, we've got our courtesy car here, which I'm also going to be selling on auction very soon. I'll probably put it up on auction after this episode has been recorded. So yes, the reason for that is because I need to try and accumulate $1 million, because the guy who actually sold the Dodge Charger to Hugo, he found Grandpa's old Dodge Charger, but the guy is very adamant on getting $1 million for the car. So I'm definitely going to try and make that amount of money and see if we can secure Grandfather's old 1971 Dodge Charger. So yeah, we are going to use the Impala just to get back to the shop this morning. We've got a couple of things going on here. So we are just gonna pull up over here and park up, and then yeah, the reason why the car is here is so that I can actually load it on top of the ramp truck and take it over to auction. Alright, so here we are. Let's just get this beautiful machine turned off. And yeah, I must say this car has been quite a reliable vehicle. It's definitely not the best, but we should make quite a bit of money off of this in the auction. So I'm hoping to get that remaining money that we'll need to get to 1 million out of this. If not, we're going to have to try and maybe see if we can't sell our 1969 Chevy Impala. Because obviously if we can get Granddad's old Dodge Charger, we'll be daily driving that car. But yes, today we are going to finally go and pick up the engine for Spartan's 1955 Chevy. So that is something that we're going to hopefully get running today. And yeah, hopefully this car is going to be able to set some records on the drag strip for Spartan. As you can see, we also did a little bit of work to Hugo's 1966 Dodge Charger here. So I've taken the old engine out and the gearbox, and I also stripped off the wheels. So we're going to be stripping this car a little bit further today, maybe taking all of the chrome bits off so that we can get this thing sandblasted. So what I've done over the weekend is I got a couple of bags of sand for the sandblaster. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, but we'll probably go and get some more if we need some. But yes, let's open up the garage. So over here we've got our pickup truck. As you can see, we did do the paint job. We've got our vinyl supplied to the doors, and yeah, there might be some touch-ups here and there that I still need to do, but I figured this is good enough for now. So we really need to try and get this truck up and running, because we are going to need it to go and pick up Spartan's engine for his 1955 Chevy. So I think this is going to be the first part of the job for today. We're going to try and get this thing put back together so that we can use it again. So I think we're going to just start with the wheels. I'm just going to unbolt these old wheels that we used for spray painting purposes, and we'll just get our beautiful chrome wheels put back onto the truck. So we're just going to start with this corner, and I'm just going to make sure we bolt everything down nice and tight. Alright, so over here we're going to take this old wheel off as well. Alright, we might actually put these on the 66 Dodge Charger, because we are going to be doing the paint job and yeah, the body work first of all. So we're going to try and keep the car sort of mobile if we want to push it around before we tackle the suspension, which will probably only happen in the next episode. So we're going to see how that's going to go. Alright, so let's get this one fitted as well at the back. Alright, so yeah, I'm not following the start pattern, but that's okay. We should be good. Alright, yeah, actually, strange, those wheels actually have 6 lugs. But yeah, I'm not going to question it, it works. Alright, so let's just take these wheels all the way outside, and we'll just get those installed on the 66 Charger. And I think let's quickly grab the last one here as well. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so we're just going to put it over there. So we've got 4 wheels that we can slap onto the Charger when we are going to do the paint work on that car. Alright, so let's just get our last 2 wheels fitted to the truck. And then this thing is hopefully going to look very nice once we are done putting it back together. Alright, and the last one, just on this corner. Yeah, I see we've got a rusty differential, but that's fine. We will swap that out maybe a little bit later. I might actually do it off camera, because it's not really a big job to do that. So yeah, unfortunately I don't have a differential laying around, so otherwise I would have slapped it in. But yes, let's continue. We're going to install our grille next, and I think let's just get all of the front parts bolted down here, like the front bumper and such. Right, so that's our grille sorted, and there goes the front bumper all the way under there. We'll just bolt it down. Alright, perfect. So that is our front end kind of sorted. We can probably lower this thing down now, because we are going to have to obviously move it in order to get the interior installed, unless if we can open the doors like this, which we should actually be able to do. Yeah, it shouldn't catch to the lift post there. Okay, so that is good. Alright, so let's do this and open this door as well. And I think let's just quickly slap on this rear bumper. Alright, so that goes onto there, and we'll just bolt it down. Perfect. And let's grab our trailer hitch, which I actually put over here. Alright, so there's our custom trailer hitch. So if we were to lift this truck, we can actually fit a drop hitch to this thing as well, but that's not really necessary for a standard ride height like this. It's just these front bolts are a little bit hard to get, but yeah, there we go. That is sorted. So our trailer hitch is back on. And I think we can probably start with the pieces of trim here on the table next. So I've got a couple of features that we're going to be adding, which weren't present on the truck before. So we've got the rear trim, which goes on like that. And we've also got this Ford badge that goes on the tailgate, which I think is going to be a nice touch. I actually noticed Minty also installed it on the truck that we sent to auction. And I've got some front, yeah, well, I also got the front trim for the wheel arches. Alright, so there's the rear left one, and I think the front left one I already slapped that on, so that is good. And yes, that is all the trim installed. So we've got a couple of bits and pieces here. We've got our roof lights, so let's just pop these on. Alright, next up we are going to grab the 2 taillights. So I actually bought some brand new taillights because the old ones were a little bit old and weathered. So we're just going to go ahead and replace these. And those are going to require the screwdriver. So let's just grab that quickly from the toolbox here. We're going to come over here and just tighten the 2 screws down. Alright, let's do this one. Alright, come on. There we go. That is looking decent. And we've got our door mirrors. So this is for the driver's side. Alright, and the opposite side one, I decided to just get a new one because the old one was also a little bit bad. So we've got a brand new door mirror for the passenger side. And you can also see we did go ahead and tint the windows already. So that is looking a little bit different. So I think it's going to keep the truck a little bit cooler. Alright, so let's screw down the door mirror on this side as well. Let's just see where the screw is. There it is. Alright, perfect. So that is all of the exterior features of this truck, I believe. Yeah, there's nothing else laying around on the table, so that is good. Now we can start with the interior. So let's grab our carpet and just pop that into place like that. And then we can probably grab the bench seat in order to secure it. Let's just open this door. Alright, so there's the bench seat. And where do I put the wrench? That's probably on the It's probably on the other table. There it is. Okay, so let's just put the wrench down there for a second. Or the screwdriver rather. We are going to need it for the dashboard. Alright, so let's go around to this side. We're going to do the bench seats bolts. And just bolt it all down. And that is looking good. Alright, so now, yeah, we can probably grab our steering wheel and the gear shifter. So as you can see, I've got the exact same matching interior as we've got on our Ram truck, so it's definitely going to look very decent. I think if we put both of these trucks next to each other, they are sort of going to look like a fleet of vehicles at this point, so that is the idea with this. Alright, let's grab our headliner here. Once again, beautiful white headliner, which I think is going to make this truck look very decent on the inside. Alright, let's just put the wrench down on that table. We are going to need the screwdriver. And I think I saw the rear view mirror over there. Alright, so this is also a custom rear view mirror, which has been coated in white. Let's just pop it into there. And we're going to just hop in and screw that down. Alright, so I think next up we're going to grab our dashboard quickly. And just get this fitted. Alright, a screw over there. And we've got the other screw tightened down on this side as well. So the last thing that is needed to do is just the two door panels. So we're going to grab this passenger side one. Let's pop it onto there. And we'll take this one to the other side. And just pop it onto there. And now we're going to need our wrench once again. So let's just put this in the toolbox. We'll grab our wrench on the table. And let's come and bolt this panel down over here. And that is done. Alright, and over to the other side. And let's just bolt this down over there. And over there. And I believe that is everything. So this truck is now put back together, and yeah, you can't really tell what it looks like inside the garage. So let's jump in. We're gonna fire this thing up and just pull it out. Alright, so she's fired up, and I'm just going to quickly pull her out so that we can have a little bit of a look around this thing and just see what it looks like. Alright, so let's jump out. We're just gonna see. Yeah, I think that actually turned out quite well. We've got a matching pickup truck for our Ram truck now. So that is definitely a very nice addition. So yeah, I decided not to get a bull bar for this thing because I don't think it's really necessary at this point. So yeah, we're just gonna roll with the truck like that for now. And yeah, I think that is our work done for the pickup truck. So what we need to do now is head over to Spartan shop quickly to go and pick up the engine for his 1955 Bel Air, or I don't know if it's really a Bel Air. It's more like a two-door Chevy. Alright, so we are just going to close up the shop and we're going to jump into our newly painted truck here. And let's be off over to Spartan shop. And yeah, go and pick up this engine. I think Spartan said the engine is currently still on his engine stand. And there's also a gearbox and a new hood, because obviously he's got quite a powerful engine going in this car. So we're gonna have to see if that hood is going to clear the engine, because he said it's quite high. So I guess we'll see once we get this engine installed first of all. Alright, and luckily Spartan shop is not very far. So we're just gonna take a nice relaxing drive with our beautiful cyan pickup truck. Alright, so here we are, and yeah, we're gonna try and maybe reverse up onto this very narrow concrete slab that he's got over here. Alright, and there we go. Alright, so that's a bit of a bummer. I just reversed back and the truck's brakes actually failed. So I'm thinking maybe when I put the cab back, yeah, I forgot to tighten up the bolt on the master cylinder, which is a bit of a problem because that means we're going to have to drive without brakes. So it actually knocked our taillights out as well. It doesn't look like they broke. This one, yeah, that's also still in one piece. Okay, so luckily we didn't have a lot of damage. We might have to just bang that out with a hammer when we get back to the shop. Alright, well, fun times. Alright, so let's come and grab these parts that we need. So we've got the hood over here. Alright, so let's put the hood maybe around about there so we can get the engine more to the front. We're probably going to have to borrow a wrench from Spartan here. We'll just put it back when we are done with it. Alright, so there's our engine. And we'll just put the engine in like that. Alright, we might have to move the hood a bit. And there we go. And let's also grab the transmission. Alright, so I think we are all loaded up. And now I'm going to have to drive this truck back to the shop without brakes. Which is going to be, yeah, a little bit of fun. Because we're going to have to use our handbrake in order to brake, actually. So let's get this thing fired up once again. Alright, so let's just take it nice and easy, because we're gonna have to, yeah, use the handbrake. Alright, well, I'll meet up with you guys back at the shop. So let me try and focus on driving this truck without brakes now. Alright, that was quite a bit of a stressful drive without brakes, but we made it back without causing any further damage to this truck. So yeah, luckily I think we'll be able to fix this. Maybe we'll have to replace this panel I just put on at the back, because it looks like it's sort of bent a bit. The bumper took a bit of a beating as well. Nothing too terrible. Maybe the license plate also bent a bit. But yes, let's quickly offload all of these things. We're just going to put it down in front of the car. And we could probably bring the engine over and just pop it in straight off the bat. Alright, so let's grab this. I hope it's going to fit with the exhaust pipes. Yeah, that looks like it's going to fit. Alright, so let's quickly grab the toolbox. Alright, so where did I put the toolbox now? It's it should be around here somewhere. Maybe I just put it on the table. Oh, there it is, outside. Okay. Alright, so let's grab the wrench and see if this engine can be tightened down. Alright, so we've got a bolt down there. Okay, that looks good. And let's do a bolt on this side as well, on the bracket itself, on the engine mount. And we are going to need the wires that I put on the table here. Alright, and let's just lean in here for the alternator bolt, or the wire on the alternator. And this side we've got the earth cable, or the ground cable as you guys will know it. And we don't have the starter yet. We've got everything fitted for now. Let's just see if our battery wants to go in. Alright, so there's the battery. And we'll bolt the battery down. Alright, so now we've got power to the car. What else was there to tighten down? Oh yes, of course, we've got the cable at the back of the engine, which is the ground cable. Alright, so that is sorted. And now we can grab the fuel line. Alright, so I had a bit of a problem with the fuel line, getting the fuel line into position, but I think we've got it, so it is nice and secure now. Alright, so before we continue, let's quickly take this old rusty hood off, and we're going to put on the hot rod hood, or the hood with the cutout rather. Alright, so there's the old hood. I don't know if Spartan wants to keep it, but if he wants to, I guess we could probably send it back to him. Alright, and we're just going to bolt it down on this side and over there. And yeah, that actually doesn't look too bad. Might have to make some more modifications to this hood. but I'm sure Spartan will know a guy that can be able to sort that out for him. Alright, so the last thing that we need for this car would be probably just the transmission. So let's get our transmission fitted. Alright, so we're gonna just sort of slide it into place and bolt it down over there. And let's not forget the bolt on the starter for the power. And let's go around to this side and also bolt this down. Alright, so now we're going to have a lot of fun because obviously the car is not up onto the two-post lift anymore. So we're going to have to try and get to those drive shaft bolts one way or another. And I think the best way would probably be to try and jack the car up on one side. So let's get this jack under here. Alright, that should help us a bit. Alright, so let's just see if we can get those bolts tightened down on the drive shaft here. And let's not forget the two transmission bolts. Alright, so it's a bit hard to see the bolts, but I did manage to get them all tightened down, so the drive shaft is completely tied down. Alright, so let's lower this thing back down. And there we go, so that is sorted. And yeah, I must also say one more thing, that I actually forgot to tighten the hub down in the last episode. That is why we had a very strange camber on this rear left wheel, but that has been sorted out. So yeah, I just tightened the bolts down and then everything came, well, okay. Yeah, everything sort of came together. Alright, but now what I'm going to do is we're going to top up some fluids. I also need to do brake fluid in this car so that we can avoid that whole driving without brakes situation. Alright, so let me get everything. I think it's actually on the table here, with the exception of the brake fluid. So I'm quickly going to top up these fluids and then we are going to see if... Alright, stand still. Alright, and we're going to see if this thing wants to fire up. So let's get this sorted out. Alright, so what I've done is topped off all of the fluids in the 55 Chevy, and I also came to tighten up the bolt under this brake master cylinder over here, so that is also sorted on the truck. And I've topped off the brake fluid, so hopefully we've got brakes again so that this won't happen again. Alright, so there we go, and now we can try and also fire this thing up. Hopefully there's going to be some gas in the tank. So I think we'll keep our fingers crossed that this thing is going to fire up. So let's give it a try. Alright, I think the problem here is we don't have any gasoline in the tank. So we're going to have to go and grab some fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly reinstall the taillights on the truck. And I think we're going to quickly go and pick up some gasoline, because I don't think we've got any gasoline in our jerry cans at the moment. Alright, so let's come over here. We're gonna just install this. I think the bulbs may have been broken anyway. If this is going to be going back on. There we go. Alright, so that should work. Yeah, we should probably just try and fix this up. And we don't really have to go too far, so it's not a big issue. Alright, there should be a screw somewhere here for us to tighten down. Alright, so that is good. We've got our taillights sort of mounted with one screw on each side, so I might have to actually replace those taillights because they look like they are sort of out of whack. But yes, we're going to grab the two jerry cans here. Let's just pop them in the back of the truck here, and let's go and pick up some gasoline. Alright, so we are at the gas station and the brakes are working again. So luckily that is a very easy problem to solve. Well, just tightening up the brake hose or the main brake line. Alright, so we are gonna fill up these two jerry cans quickly, and then I'll bring you guys back up to speed once we get back to the shop. If I don't keep banging these things against each other. Okay, there we go. This is definitely not my day today. Okay, there we go. Stand up. Alright, let's fill up these jerry cans. Alright, so here we are. We've got the two jerry cans. And I'm just going to add one of these into the tank over here, and that should give us enough gasoline just to fire this thing up and see how it runs. And yeah, then we're gonna hopefully be able to get this thing delivered to Spartan very soon. Alright, and there we go, it's going in. That should do the trick. Okay, and let's just close it up. And moment of truth, will she fire up now? Alright, that is very interesting. So that means there must be something else wrong with this engine. I'm not too sure what is missing, because everything seems to be there. We've got spark plugs, spark wires, we've got the ignition coil connected. Everything seems to be intact, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of fault finding on this engine. Are the spark plugs also on this side? Yeah, they are there. That is quite interesting. Alright, so I think we're at this point where I can't really see anything wrong. So I think we're just going to send this thing over to Spartan. I'll probably hook it up and put it on the back of the flatbed, and then you can kind of just figure out what's going on. I think there might be something missing, because I see there's a different type of fuel pump here. So we've got maybe got an idea. So yeah, let's maybe try this. We are going to remove the fuel pump, because I've got a feeling this fuel pump that's installed on this car is a little bit either not doing the job, or it's either a whole new system and there's definitely something missing. So let's see if we do this. Is that going to come off now, or is there something else attached to this? Alright, so there's the fuel pump. Alright, so let's just put this fuel pump there, because I don't see an EFI system on this car. We are going to see, maybe let's grab the fuel pump of Hugo's engine. We're just going to borrow this. Alright, so let's try this quickly. Want to see if this can do the job. Alright, so there's the new fuel pump, or Hugo's fuel pump, installed. Let's just get this fuel line back into position once again. It's a little bit finicky getting this thing back, but there we go. Alright, let's see if that is going to make the difference, because I think the problem is this thing isn't getting fuel. Yeah, that is still not the problem. Alright, well, let's continue diagnosing. Alright, so I just had a long phone call with Spartan about this 1955 Chevy Bel Air's engine that we are struggling to fire up. And apparently the engine is not an engine that he built. It's actually an engine that he got from somebody. And he says that this person forgot to send him the EFI chip, which is actually supposed to go onto the engine or onto the firewall, and then hopefully that'll power the EFI system on this car. So yeah, that is currently the issue that we are addressing. So that guy is going to organize the chip and send it over to us. So he might have it here by tomorrow. Then I'll be able to get it fitted and hopefully get this thing fired up for Spartan, so that he can go and take it for a bit of a test drive. So we're just going to go ahead and remove Hugo's old fuel pump here and put it back onto his engine. So let's quickly just get this back into position over there and bolt it down. Alright, perfect. And now if we just mount this EFI block off, which is actually like a filter system that just redirects the fuel into the EFI system. This car should fire up once we get that chip fitted, and that is going to give it probably the complete cycle that it needs. So we're just going to let this project hang here for now, and then we are going to hopefully be able to sort some other things out for the rest of the day, because my plan was actually to deliver this car to Spartan. So let's see if this fuel line wants to go back in. It goes all the way down there. Okay, and just bolt it down there. Alright, so we are going to leave this project as it is at the moment. So what we are going to continue with is trying to sort out the dents on the back of our truck before we start on Hugo's 66 Charger over here. So I'm just going to bang some of the dents out a bit. It looks like it's not that extensive, at least. Alright, so yeah, this is actually going quite well. So we're going to have to probably get this tailgate removed once again. And there might be some damage to the floor of the bed as well. So we'll just knock that back a bit. That is going to need a little bit of Bondo as well. What else do we have? We've got the little bit of dents on the frame rail. But that doesn't look too bad now. I think we've got everything more or less sorted. So now we can probably get ourselves some new taillights, because these were actually damaged a bit in the hole of the impact. We are going to refit this tailgate. Just wanted to pop off this trim piece at the back, because we're going to have to replace that again. And also this plate, the Ford badge. So we're going to just put the tailgate back on right over there. And let's see how that's going to line up. Alright, and close it up. And where's the hammer? There it is. Alright, so yeah, I think that is straight enough. So we're going to definitely just sort out the paintwork again and do a little bit of Bondo to this. But that I think we're going to do off camera, because I don't want to bore you guys with some more bodywork and paintwork and stuff for the rest of this episode. Because we're already going to be doing some sandblasting on Hugo's 66 Charger. So let's just neaten up here a little bit. Alright, that is looking good. Alright, so I think before we start doing any sandblasting here, let's just get the gas cans out of the way, because we don't want to be sandblasting into these things. Alright, so there we go. Let's just put those over there. And we can probably get the wheels also mounted for now. I think that shouldn't be a problem, because then at least if we want to push this thing out from under the two-post lift, we can do it. Alright, and let's just grab our wrench, which is in the toolbox over here. Alright, and let's come over here and just bolt everything down. Alright, so we've got the wheels bolted down, so let's put this thing back on the ground. So I'm not sure if we're going to have to maybe open the doors to take some of the trim pieces off, because as I said, I've never really worked on one of these. So let's see what's cooking and what happens if we just push it a bit forward and get the doors opened. Alright, let's check around this side as well. Alright, so let's see if we take this door panel off, what else we need to take off. There's a small window over there which we're going to take out, so that's probably going to need the pry tool. Let's just grab the whole toolbox, bring it a bit closer. Right, so there's the one small window. Going to pop it on the table here. And I don't think this piece of chrome can come off. So yeah, everything is one piece on this door. Let's pop out this little window. Alright, they are very hard to see. We can probably unbolt the rear windscreen. I believe that is a screw over there. And I think the front windscreen also has got screws down there. Alright, let's just pop this one out. Okay, and we'll just put it on top of that one. And let's go and grab this one. The last one. There we go. Alright, now it looks like we're going to need a screwdriver. Let's grab this screwdriver. We're going to undo that screw. And I think there's another one on this side. All the way down there. And that frees up the windscreen. Alright, let's put this inside the garage. We'll just put it over here on the table. Nice and safe. Alright, and we are kicking our sandblaster around again. So let's just put that down over there for now. Alright, so where are these screws? Right there in the corner. We've got two of the smallest little tiny screws. And that frees up the windshield at the back. Alright, so let's put this over here. Under the table, that should be safe there. Okay, so let's start inspecting some more things here. I'm not sure if this trim comes off. It doesn't look like it. Alright, so that looks like it's part of the actual roof here. Roundabout back here, we've got some trim pieces. And that goes onto the taillight. Let's just put that over there. And the grill itself, let's quickly see if we can figure this out. I think it's also screws, which is common for the whole front end to come off altogether. Alright, so that is the inner part, or the light holder as they would say. Let's see if that comes off with the wrench. The front bumper, got a bolt there, and there's one. Alright, so that's the front bumper. Alright, let's just move these things a little bit more out of the way. The front grille, okay, that's a small screw over there. Alright, so that goes over there. And there's one over there. Okay, so that is coming off just like that. Alright, so that is good. We can actually sandblast it like this. We don't need to worry about that. The rear pieces of trim is there. So let's check around here. The back bumper also has got a bolt or two. Gonna need the wrench. Let's just undo these two and see if it comes off. Okay, so there's the rear bumper. Just put it down under the table over there for now. Alright, and taillight, it's got a couple of screws. I wonder if this actual bezel can come off with the taillight. It might, just like that. Alright, so there's our whole taillight assembly. We can probably pop this back on just like that so that we know where it is and it all stays together. Okay, so I think let's continue with the interior parts. Just want to see what we can take out because we don't want to sandblast onto those. So we've got seats. There's also a big piece of trim over here we can take off. Right, so that is good. Alright, so we'll just put this over here because we don't want to get any sandblasting done on these. Alright, and that goes over there. Okay, so this interior panel should come off like that. Quite easy. And let's have a look at this one. Just take that off. Alright, and put it down over there. And I think we've got a couple of seats we can also remove. Alright, so there's this panel. Just put it over there. And this seat can also come out. So let's see if we can get to these bolts, all of them. Okay, so that is good. We've got that seat out. And the rear seat looks like it's got the two bolts over there. Okay, so that is the back seat. Alright, so that is loose. Alright, just put it down there for now. We are going to replace the dashboard because the dashboard has seen some better days already. So that can stay for now. Alright, but these seats are actually still in very decent condition. So we'll probably reinstall these again. It all depends if Hugo wants to keep these seats or if he wants to put something different in. We might as well actually get a new set of front seats for this car as well, because those are definitely a little bit worn now that I looked at it again. Alright, this car has got a headliner in, so let's take the whole headliner out. Alright, so there's the headliner. And just like that, the car is basically stripped far enough for us to start sandblasting. I just want to push it a bit more forward. Alright, that is looking decent. So yeah, now we can finally grab our sandblaster, which I put over there. Alright, let's just put some sand in it. And we are going to grab the nozzle. We're going to cue some music and see if we can get this thing sandblasted. Alright, so we've done quite a bit of the rust removal on this car now, and it's a little bit hard to reach all of the rust on the roof here. So we're going to try and see if this actually unbolts the whole roof itself. That it does. So let's grab it quickly and just put it over to this side. Maybe not, because that's going to be close to our Chevy Impala, which we are going to try and auction off. So let's not risk that. Alright, so let's come over here and we'll just see if this is going to work a bit better now. Alright, just like that. That is doing a good job now. Alright, over here. Alright, so there we go. That is basically all of the rust off of the roof. We've still got some nooks and crannies here and there that I cannot get into, but that is not too bad. I'll just see if I can catch that with a little bit of an angle grinder. We've also got a little bit over here just below the hood scoop, which is a little bit hard to reach, but that should be able to get fixed up without any problems with the angle grinder maybe. But yeah, that is, I'm quite happy with what we have achieved on that part of the rust removal. So what I want to do for the rest of today's episode, which I know it's starting to get a little bit dark already, but we had quite a bit of dilemmas with the 55 Chevy, and yeah, that is going to probably be a lot of the recording video time that I had recorded. That's going to be cut off because I've been up and down trying to figure that thing out. Alright, so we're just going to remove this fender. And I think that fender can stay because that inner fender looks decent. We just want to cut this part off. And then we can probably also just get this thing back up onto the two-post lift so that we can get the cross member out. So that is kind of my plan here. Let's just push it back a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to grab our plasma cutter, which is over here. Let's see if we can actually get this radiator support cut off. Alright, so that is one rusty radiator support, and we're gonna have to replace that part. Let's see if this part can also be cut off. Usually with these inner fenders we also have to cut that weld over there and that one over there. But now before that can come off, we need to remove a couple of things from the front right suspension here. So we are going to just lift the car up. Alright, so let's get these lift arms under here. Okay, let's get lifting a bit. Alright, so now we can probably grab our wrench. And we're gonna just see if we undo this whole front suspension. I might actually take the whole cross member off because everything needs to come off. Okay, so there's a bolt and there's a bolt. We've got the upper control arms and there it goes. Okay. Alright, so that is sorted. That actually came off a little bit prematurely if you ask me, but we've got it off. So yeah, we're not going to bother with the rest then. So let's just take that off. Yeah, I don't really know why I bother taking these parts off because they are very rusty and they need to be replaced anyway. Okay, so we're going to move over to this side. We're going to undo that. And over there. And this one. And that should free up the whole front suspension. So now we can strip this and see what parts we are going to need on, obviously, to repair this. By the looks of it, there's not really much useful. We've got bad, yeah, sort of everything going on here. Tie rod, this tie rod looks sort of decent. Let's just have a look at the parts that we think might be okay. Yeah, obviously that's definitely not good. So we might as well actually just order all of these parts brand new. The brake calipers look tired. That one still looks kind of okay, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be usable as much. Yeah, it's on its last legs anyway. Okay, so we are definitely going to replace the whole front suspension. But I think what we'll do is we will just put this on temporarily while I'm going to wait for the parts. So that we can actually spray paint this car once the inner fenders and also the radiator support gets here. And then we can sort that out. And I've still got a little bit of rust to sort out on the door over there. And yeah, obviously on the hood. And also back here on the quarter panels, we've got a little bit of rust still that I can't reach. I actually haven't tried derusting that corner. Where did I put the sandblast? It's all the way over here. Alright, let's bring this a bit closer. Alright, let's see. That, yeah, that works. Okay, and this side over here. Alright, that is good. Alright, but yes, there we have it. So we had quite a bit of a busy Monday. I would say it's actually a sort of a blue Monday or a manic Monday. But yeah, that is quite a bit of things that has happened in this episode. We've got the engine installed, which still needs the EFI chip. So we are going to get that from Spartan once he gets it from the guy he got the engine off of. I'm going to fix up the mess that I created on the back of our pickup truck here as well. We're going to do a little bit of Bondo and just touch up this rear end. And I'm also going to order some new taillights and also those new panels again and just get it sorted. I might actually do a little bit of a better job at painting the white or putting the stickers on here as well. So that is something that I wanted to fix anyway. So might as well rip the whole bed off and just sort it out. But I think that is basically a wrap for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate every view, every like. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. And another thing is, if you haven't checked out AC1 Tech, they are the sponsor of my YouTube channel. Go and check them out in the link down in the description. That is only for South African shoppers, so do go and check it out and help support the channel. But yes, until the next time, cheerio.